All right, Ron, take us away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode I don't even fucking know anymore of the Pixelship Podcast. Today is May 28th, 2014, and despite a slew of technical difficulties, we're back at it again. As always, I'm joined by Neil Lebo.
Not only technical difficulties, but also raging hailstorms.
Ryan Blandy.
I like all the games that you don't.
And Joel Hartlaub.
Hello.
And today, as always, we make up the crew of the Pixelship that can be found at pixelship.net, your source for really mostly podcasts at this point. The occasional review, write-up, or anything else video game related we can cram up on the site. As always, we usually talk about what we've been playing throughout the week. So, Ryan, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, little old me. Oh, I've got a slew of things that I've been playing, my good sir.
It's been a few weeks, so we've all got kind of a pretty big backlog. So, what are some of your favorites from the week?
All right, well, like, I've went through and done a few new games this week. Usually I'll just be replaying Team Fortress. But now, all right, so we'll start with the big one. We'll start with the meat and potatoes. I started playing the Watch Dogs.
All right. How far into it are you?
Only, I'd say, maybe story-wise about 2 hours. Game-wise, like 3 or 4.
All right. And what are you playing it on?
PlayStation 4.
What do you think?
All right, so in this game, you can watch everything except for dogs. There's no dogs in the game.
0 dogs. And
there's 0 dogs, and there's 0 time to watch them. Other than that, it is fucking boring. It's one of the most boring games I've ever played.
What makes it just
it's
like
vanilla?
Okay.
Bland? Like, hi, I'd like to insert Caucasian male douchebag with a cell phone.
Well, we do know that you love inserting Caucasian male douchebags.
We all know
with
this.
cell phones especially.
So, yeah, you're just, you're this dude and you're like, either my daughter died or
your
his
niece
died. Because of him. He was driving the car and they were at him because he, like, siphoned a shitload of bank accounts, alright?
He's a super elite Megadeth hacksaw.
Yeah, so he's like all sad and he's on the road for revenge. And I'm like, alright, let's see what this entails. So yeah, the controls are terrible. Driving is worse than GTA 4. It's just really bland. They've got like this hacking stuff, which is fun for about 15 minutes, maybe 20. It's a gimmick. And you'll start just getting bored of it. Now, granted, you could steal money from people that just had cancer. So that's nice.
Well, that's my real life job.
Everybody's got likes to cosplay, or like they've got a Facebook fucking
there's a lot of flavor text.
profile.
I think one of the better ones that I've seen is I think it's like habitually consumes torture porn.
Nice.
Like they're not all winners,
things.
but there's a couple really good ones in there.
Like I'm in a neighborhood, I see an old person, they go like swinger. I'm like, all right. So then I hack them and I steal their money.
So, I mean, I feel like, I actually haven't played it yet, but been, reading up as much as I can on it and watching quite a bit of gameplay. Some streams on Twitch before the game was even out because that's the way
it's like Assassin's Creed tried to do a Grand Theft Auto game and did it bad.
The game showed really well. This game has been in development for
Yeah, and I
5
played the hype
years, something
train.
like that. And I think the
Choo-choo.
concept is really cool. And kind of the common complaint I'm hearing, and specifically from you, is that yes, there's a lot of stuff in here, but none of it is particularly interesting or
Yeah,
really well
like I
fleshed out.
said, you're supposed to, take the ground running with the story. I'm like, this is fucking revenge time. I'm thinking like, kind of Taken-esque, balls to the wall. I'm killing people. I want revenge. And there's hardly any of that. I'm talking to an Asian dude with a suit, and
Well,
he's killing people. I'm not killing people.
I will say credit where credit's due. Usually these revenge stories are, your daughter or, your wife or something like that. The protagonist in this game, if I'm not mistaken, has really no family to himself. Like
Well,
it's
like
his
he's
sister's
got
daughter.
a sister. With,
Yeah, but he's like a loner, and
Yeah,
usually
he's
you're
a
like,
loner.
how is this maladjusted, horrible person, have a loving wife and family? At least here they're perfectly honest, being like, look, no one's fucking hooking up with this guy because he's a complete sociopath, but he fucked with his niece, and now he's going on a revenge story. So I think that was at least a believable, or more believable than these revenge stories usually kind of come up, because otherwise why would this murdering psychopath have such a well-adjusted family?
Yeah, and like, some of the parts of the story, like maybe I'm being a little too harsh. I mean, I did enjoy that some dude called his sister and a prank call going like, I'm gonna come in there and get you, like pseudo a little bit rapey, and you're listening
You
in on
loved
this
it.
call, and then you're like, fuck this guy. Then you get in a car and you go find his ass and then, beat him up. Now, granted, it was part of the whole, like, somebody hired him bullshit. However, for that split second, I was like, yeah, let's go get this butthole. This is fun.
Yeah,
Let's kill the prank call person. Let's do
a lot of
this.
what I'm hearing is it's not the worst game in the world. It's
It's
just
not.
the
It's
same
not
thing.
the worst game.
It's been built up for so long. It's had so much press and so much money behind it. And I understand Ubisoft has to push this game, because I don't even want to know how much it ended up costing them in the end. But everyone just kind of expected the world of it, and I don't know. I'm excited to play it. I will eventually
Listen,
play it.
Ubisoft didn't really stop the hype train, okay?
Well,
No, but they
the
could've
reason
had.
is that this was supposed to be the next gen game system seller. Like it was supposed to be.
It was
It was
supposed to be
out
back
at
in
launch.
November.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And that's what everybody built it up to be. Like this is the reason to own the next gen games. And from what the
not.
reviews are, there is still zero reason to own the next gen game system.
Hey man, Dead Rising
get to that
3.
later,
I'll
but,
buy
yeah.
that fucking thing all day long.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually am excited to play it. I am totally going to end up buying it, but I am not.
I'd say
gonna buy it
wait
right
till
away.
it's like $30 at least.
Yeah,
At the
I
very
feel like
least.
30, 35 seems to be the price point where these games are bottoming out at right now.
Yeah,
the
and
PS4 games.
I guarantee there is going to be some angry people that are going to trade it in immediately.
Yeah.
And just like, fuck it, no one's going to buy it, and it's going to go down real fucking quick.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure it's not atrocious. It
It's
was
not
just
atrocious,
impossible to
it's
live up to the
fucking
hype.
boring.
Yeah.
A game where you could probably do anything. You want to shoot up places? Cool. Every time I pull out my gun, everybody's all freaked out. I'm like, sorry, I just pressed the button.
So you
Have
don't
you
like
done
the
any-
realism? Is that what it is? Like it's too real.
Maybe it's too real. It's fucking boring.
Did you
Life
play any
is
of the?
boring.
Did you play any of the multiplayer stuff? The
No,
kind of
no, I
invasion
didn't.
mechanic.
I just when I play like an open world game like that, I don't go through the story at first because usually the story is fucking short. So I do all the side quest stuff. I can find the collectibles. I get this. I get that. I mean,
But the way the multiplayer works, it's like Dark Souls where people invade your game. You're just kind
yeah,
of
and they
given
can
this prompt,
fuck
and
you
it's
and steal your monies.
yeah. I mean, you don't have a choice. It's you opt in or you opt out. So I didn't know if a lot of people.
I wanted to try it. I didn't get a chance because I was playing it today, and then I just went like, I don't want to play this anymore. I came to a realization, and it's usually I'll even play a bad game for a good amount of while, and then I gotta like go do something. I never consciously make the choice to go like, I've had enough of this. And yeah, I was just sitting there and like, I don't want to play this at all. So then I stopped playing it, and I played other things.
All right. What else did you play after you moved on?
Well, I did try right after Watch Dogs, I went and bought Saints Row 4 and have had an amazing time. For the people that want to go buy Watch Dogs and haven't played Saints Row 4, don't buy Watch Dogs. Saints Row 4 is basically the same game and better.
But does it look better, or just?
It looks about the same as Saints Row 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
It really. I mean, they did upgrade the graphics a bit. Like it does look better than 3, but I mean, it's not a realistic game. It doesn't look realistic like Watch Dogs would.
And not to mention, this is the perfect time. First off, like, yeah, you've got a protagonist in Watch Dogs, all right? He's his own dude. You can make your own person in Saints Row 4, just like you could in Saints Row 3. Yeah. However, I thought before, we've got superpowers, we've got aliens. Who am I going to make to fight with superpowers against aliens? I made Will Smith.
Oh, I would have gone with Bruce Willis. Well, I guess
No, Will Smith's
never had.
perfect. He both fought aliens and was Hancock. So now I can be Hancock, dress him up as Hancock with a dildo sword, and then fight aliens. It's the best. Welcome to
Is
Earth.
the dildo sword in Saints Row 4?
There's a way to get it. I think
Okay.
there's a tentacle bat, which is
Yeah, the tentacle bat seemed to replace it.
I actually am not sure that I found the dildo bat in.
I think in one of the
must have
Professor
my
Genki missions you can
Right.
get it.
There are enemies that have it that will attack you with it, but I don't know
Yeah.
that I've ever actually gotten it. Now that I think about it,
The pentacle.
I feel like it was in one of the side missions in the way they do like kind of the one-off instances. I think you got one.
there's a DLC weapon called a rectifier, which is basically an anal probe,
Oh, nice.
and you probe people and launch them with it.
It's just that kind of classy game.
Yeah,
All right.
I love playing with dildos
got a class of
in
joint.
an imaginary world.
You love playing with dildos and going after boot hole. We know all these things.
You all know these things. So then,
did you-
I was playing that, and then also this week I did play Battle Block Theater.
Oh, I still have to play that. That is on my list.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, granted, it's unlike Castle Crashers or Alien.
Did you get this when it was on sale? Was it on sale? Because I saw a bunch of people got it.
No, that's a story for another time because our friend Nate is an idiot. However, Battle Block Theater, you get from point A to point B while getting all the gems. But you also can turn these gems in for heads, which are basically hats. And then you can sell these heads and buy these heads on the Steam shop.
And now we know why Blandy likes this game.
I love it.
Okay, so it's got heads.
I love it.
It's got hats.
He's got to have his merch.
You've got to
His
have that
tradable
in-game
items.
bullshit.
That in-game merch.
Sweet. So is that all you've been playing?
Well, yeah, and Wolf Among Us, but you know.
Oh, I do have to play the new Wolf Among Us. Don't
yeah,
say anything
I
about
didn't
that.
finish the third episode yet, but you know that's neither here.
That came out like 2 days ago, didn't it?
No, they got the fourth episode is coming out.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you
But
were
no,
playing.
I'm behind on that. I'm also behind on The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Right
I
on.
haven't, I haven't played any of these games.
Well,
Oh, they're
you're
so good.
stupid.
You need to play The Walking Dead. Next time it goes on sale for like $5, I think you'd really enjoy the first
Well,
Walking
I
Dead
still
game.
think we should do our idea and videotape us playing the game or something,
All right.
just like a commentary.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. All right, cool.
So, Neil, what have you been playing this week?
I buried a lot of my time into a game that I didn't really give a second thought to. I bought it during a Steam sale, and I was talking to Erin about indie games and how they can be really like unique and cool
Uh,
and she's been listening to the podcast a little bit. So anyway, the game is the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom.
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like I was playing it for a while, and she was like, "Is this what Joel would consider a puzzle game?" And I was like, "Yeah, this could be definitely considered a puzzle game."
Yes, Joel would hate The
Yeah,
Adventures of PB Winterbottom.
right.
Then I will avoid it like the plague.
It's awesome though. It really is. It's an awesome game. The art style, and I find myself like more and more drawn to games because of style than almost anything else at this point.
You live in a good time for it
Yeah.
because that is the darling of the indie game fucking trope is super artsy fartsy graphics.
Right, right. And so, if you guys don't know about the game, the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom has
Winterbottom.
you play this like turn of the century um, dude. I don't know what he does, but he's a dude that hunts
He
pies
wears a suit and a
and a giant.
disproportionately tall stovepipe hat.
He wears an awesomely tall stovepipe hat. And the game itself plays out very puzzle-esque. One thing that I found unique, and this might just be unique to me because I don't play a lot of puzzle games, is kind of the gimmick of this game, I guess, would be you have the ability to record your actions. So with the game, you'll solve these puzzles by recording your actions and making clones of yourselves that repetitively do these same actions, and you can record them for pretty much as long as you want. And there are certain things that'll interrupt the actions, like if they run into a wall or something like that, that'll interrupt their actions and they won't do anything anymore. But anyway, you use this to solve the puzzles, which makes for an awesome game. Like it just you. I guess you don't really understand how intricate things can get, but like if you can only have one clone running at a time, you're like you're making a clone while you're jumping on that clone. It gets so complicated and so amazing. Just tasty. Tasty game.
Yeah, the time manipulation seems to be coming up more and more in indie games, but I think they're all kind of handling it pretty unique. But the Winterbottom was the first one I played with kind of that making clones of yourself to solve tasks. There's been a couple similar kind of after the fact or different takes on it, but that was the first one where you're kind of thinking what is essentially simultaneous movement, and I think they do it pretty well.
Yeah. So yeah, I was extraordinarily pleased with that game, and I don't know why I haven't played it sooner. I was a little pissed. And next, what I went back to the Humble Bundle. They came out with a new one,
Okay.
like they always do, and this one had what did it have in it? That it had Symphony in it on one of the. It was one of the baseline games. And Symphony is a shoot 'em up game. I guess you would consider it a shoot 'em up. Yeah, definitely. And it runs off of music that you have stored on your device. So
Okay.
I have this for my computer, and I played it quite a bit on the PC. Just jamming out and playing a game. Pretty awesome. But with this Symphony on the Humble Bundle, it comes to Android systems too. So I got to play that on my phone for a while. And gotta say, pretty awesome, pretty amazing on the phone as well as on the PC. So I highly recommend it. I'm a huge fan of shoot 'em ups. I just have been since 1942. I don't know. The games get me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played Symphony, but I played was it not Audacity, but it's kind of like almost like a runner. You kind of like collecting colors to the beat. There seems to be more and more of these your own music collection now that everyone has 4 terabytes of music at all times, to kind of inform the game, which is a pretty cool idea. I think.
I mean, it kicks the ass of rights, like like soundtracks. You know,
Yeah,
like,
having to pay for all that licensing bullshit.
Right.
99 cents a track for shit you already own. I think Harmonix just kickstarted a new game that is of that ilk too. You might want to check out. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's it's frequency and amplitude. To
Oh,
a
okay.
sequel to that. And
Amplitude.
they did do a Kickstarter for it, which pissed a lot of people off because I mean, here's this major game company doing a Kickstarter for a game that will probably be profitable. I mean,
Oh, it's going to be.
frequency and
Yeah,
amplitude
but I think
were,
they were trying to prove their case, and it was a niche game that they weren't going to get funded no matter what. You know.
Harmonix, the higher ups said, "No way, we're not doing that." And then they went like, "Well, fuck you.
You know, I think it's fine.
We'll put it to the people."
I backed the Kickstarter from Double Fine, and they have more than enough money to make the game that they made. But it was, you know, if this is going to work out for them, they kind of want the money up front, and I think it works in some cases. Obviously, you're not going to crowdsource Battlefield 7, but you know, these little remakes or niche, you know, indie games like the Shadowrun and stuff like that, I think it's a perfect fit. You know, put $20-$30 up front and get the game, you know, and some content
It's
with
the
it.
good side of pre-orders.
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, I can kind of see that, but part of me, I don't know. It just the corporations begging for money really ticks me off, and it does. Like at a core level, it shakes me.
Well, but that's the
Shakes
nice
you.
part about it is if there are enough like-minded people like you, then the shit doesn't get funded and they fucking go away because it's not a viable outlet for
Right,
them.
but I want that game to be funded. I'm at an impasse right now.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right, yeah. Those 2 games, Frequency and Amplitude, are some of the best rhythm games that have ever been created. The team that worked on them really was like so ahead of their time. I mean, if you look at Amplitude and then you look at Guitar Hero or any hero or anything that came out of Japan in the 2005 pluses, like it's complete blatant ripoffs of what Amplitude was. And Amplitude's still better. It just doesn't have a proprietary controller. But yeah.
I don't know if I play. I have Audio Surf. I think that's of the same ilk. But
Like,
that,
Audio
that's-
Surf was by MTV, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
But-
know. I've actually never played it, so
What?
I haven't.
What else have you been playing?
What else have I been playing? I went back and played a good amount of Orcs Must Die again. I don't know if I talked about that on the podcast. If you haven't played Orcs Must Die, I think that you need to do it.
I think it's come up, but I agree. I think that is a really, really fun. What do you even consider that? It's almost like a single player MOBA kind of tower defense.
It would
maybe?
be a tower defense single player MOBA, I guess. I mean, Orcs Must Die 2, you can play co-op,
Okay.
which is kind of cool that you can
Sure.
get somebody else in there. It's one of those games that is not too complex, so you can really sit down and just play a level, and then that's it. You can play one
Yeah.
level, you know. Which
And the
is
levels
great.
aren't too long. I think, you know, even on some of the later levels, I think they only ever last me like a half hour, maybe at most.
I don't even think you're close to a half hour.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not even close to a half an hour.
Alright.
Yeah, even with setup time,
Yeah, maybe I'm just staring at a screen and going to get a drink and stuff.
that's
like that.
possible. But I mean, if you want to stretch it out to half an hour, I'm sure you could really like fine tune your placements of your traps and everything.
But to your point, is they're easily digestible by themselves. It's not necessarily like a one more level. It's more of a all right. I got past this challenge.
Right.
You know.
Right. And lastly, this is what I played. I went back to Chasing the Dragon again.
Heroin Hero?
Yeah, I couldn't help it. Journey into Nyx on MTGO. I had to go back. I'm playing some Magic the Gathering online again.
Chasing the Dragon. Now I got it.
Chasing the Dragon, right. So I have not hit my stride at all. I really... With Magic the Gathering online, you can get into a groove that some refer to as the gravy train, where you net enough tickets. Well, you actually don't net any tickets, but you net enough packs to sustain yourself on perpetual drafting. And I was that way for quite a few sets. I have not gotten that way for any of the new stuff. I've just been out of it for too long. And the thing about Magic that is so infuriating and so like fueling to passion is that you have to devote time to it. Like, that's the only way you will get good. Even the best players in the world, if they take a year off, cannot jump back in the seat and be good. It just doesn't happen. You have to check out the field. You have to see what kind of strategies there are in the set, things like that. And I haven't gotten this set down yet, so hopefully that happens soon, because I'm getting pissed. That's what's going on.
I'll give that game a try one day.
Yeah, dude, you should. I mean,
All right.
if you have some extra scratch to spend on paper.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, it's really you're
That's the
you're
big
paying for
downside,
vapor. Right.
All right. Was that pretty much it for this week?
That's it for this week from me.
All right, Joel, what have you been playing this week?
A little bit of stuff here and there. WildStar was an ops week, so I was playing that a bit more, kind of.
Still liking it? Still feeling it?
Oh,
Still
yeah.
ready to shell out some cash?
Still great. I pre-ordered it and all that, so good to go.
So for
It's
those of
early-
us that don't know, what is Ops Week?
Ops week is like it's a week, usually the week before like an MMO comes out, where they're still testing servers and stuff like that, where they want to test like what happens if like the power cuts out, or if like they pull the plugs on all the servers and see if they can reload back up and stuff like that, or they're just testing out stuff. So it's really unstable and really
It's a post-beta?
right, kinda.
Kappa?
It's open to everybody, but like it's not very reliable. Like the servers aren't even up every day, and not all the servers are up. Like it's just whatever they need to do testing on, that's what up. So you can get like some more playtime, but you're not necessarily guaranteed for the server that your characters are on to be open.
But they're saying, hey, you're playing for it. If you see a server up and you want to jump on, we're just sticking
Exactly.
around here anyway, so whatever.
Exactly. Well, it's plus. I mean, I think it probably helps them on some level if there are people on when they do these tests. But so that's what that is. And early access starts like Saturday morning at like 12:01 a.m.
So the character that you're working on now, you can keep?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I haven't played. I think last I played was Saturday. But I mean, the servers haven't even really been up. But I don't really plan on playing again until Saturday again, when it actually goes live for early start. But I am totally gung-ho about this game. It's going to be sweet. I can't wait. I actually just canceled my WoW subscription too. Like,
Oh, wow.
Subscribe.
Hey,
Well, I'm not gonna pay.
he's doubling down.
I'm not gonna pay $15 for a game that I'm not gonna play now.
I don't blame you. I'm just saying, that's a big hit.
No, not really. I mean, imagine if you would have another game that you'd pay a subscription on. Imagine $50 a month paying towards video game subscriptions. That would be insane.
I mean, I probably pay around that, but I get new
Just
shit.
to get new shit. Yeah. So, I mean, I played a little bit of that over the weekend. Just, running through with the medic class for a bit just to get a better feel for it. That's definitely what I'm going with when live rolls around.
Really?
Uh-huh. Well, the medic does DPS too. It's not solely for healing. But I just really like the game. I just really like the style. Like, I really like the way it feels and like the way it plays out. So that's probably what I'm going to try to main when I go through. But yeah, I played that. I played some Borderlands 2 over the weekend because I haven't beaten it yet. And when we were playing, when we played the couple game nights ago,
Scratch your itch.
a little bit, yeah.
It's a good game. It is, and I got to give that one to I think
It is a fun co-op game. I don't enjoy playing those games by myself.
Yeah, like it'd be nice, like if we could get together and play it more often. Since I missed
You
the
were
train on that
headhunting.
one. I missed the train on that one because I was
Yeah.
out and about. But
yeah.
yeah, I was doing a little bit of the head, like trying to get some of the heads off of Henry.
Farming Henry.
You've
That shit
got to farm
sucks.
Henry.
That drop rate is terrible.
Oh yeah. The Henry drop rate. I think I've killed Henry. I've killed him thousands of times.
I think I got one head and 100 kills.
Yeah,
Probably more than that.
I netted maybe 2 heads. Like it's
terrible.
insanely bad.
And
So
there's
is
no way to-
everyone sold on the new one then?
I haven't seen anything.
Oh
about it.
yeah, I've already pre-ordered it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm immediately getting it when it comes out.
What kind of special edition do they have?
They don't have one yet.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'm
that
sure they will.
They
I thought
don't
the
even have a
box
release
was
date
cool.
for it yet, do they?
No, they just released.
Yeah, they don't
15
have a
minutes of
release
gameplay,
date. They
though.
just say fall. It is coming out this fall.
I did
But
see
yeah,
that gameplay on Reddit. I didn't actually watch
Yeah,
it. though.
15 minutes of gameplay. It's fun times. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
are they
just-
just copy and
Borderlands.
pasting over the Borderlands 2 engine? Is that basically what
Yeah.
they're doing?
I
Yeah.
mean, there's some particle effects that look kind of newer and shit like
Yeah.
that, but it's to note that's not a knock to the game. I thought
No,
2 played
no.
super well. It runs really well. The art style is fantastic. But there's not a ton you can really do with that.
Well, I mean, with a game like that too, you know you're gonna. I mean, after playing 2, anyway, you know you're gonna get like a decent story and environment and all that stuff. Like it's a cool world. It's just.
But I
you know,
wouldn't say graphically it is above what Borderlands 1 to Borderlands
Which-
2 was. I would say it's maybe
Okay.
a quarter step. I don't know. What do you
Right.
think?
Well,
That doesn't bother me anyway. Like that kind of stuff doesn't really affect me too much.
I do like Borderlands 2's engine. Like it's
Yeah.
not a glitchy game, and anyone that says
How?
that's a glitchy game is freaking crazy. Like that is one of the.
I can't
least-
remember any significant ishes the
I hit a-
hours that we've put into that.
Right.
There's a couple. Like I hit a couple when farming Henry, but it had to do with phase locking him.
Okay.
Like I would phase lock him and he would be under the ground, and he would just disappear.
Oh, yeah, I got into a couple of those glitches with.
But if it's not nothing game breaking, and
Right.
Well,
just-
and ideally they're more comfortable with the engine now, so it shouldn't be an issue for the new one.
I mean, a bug like that, like I said, that's not a big deal. It's
Sure.
annoying, but
Yeah, that's a reload bug. That's
and
not
it's easily
a F
avoidable.
my out bug. Yeah.
Like you just wait like a split second before you do it.
Right.
But yeah, Borderlands 2, played that for a bit, and then I played League of Legends for a little bit. Actually,
Nice.
I didn't really play it
Whoa!
that much yet. I
Is that
played
your
like,
first time playing League of
yeah, I
Legends?
actually just
Okay.
downloaded it like the other night. But I did like the tutorial stuff, and I did like that's about it. I did like the tutorial stuff, and then a buddy of mine who was the one I was talking to about the game. I just like spectated a match that him and his brother were playing in,
Mhm.
just kind of check it out, and I don't know, like it seems like a cool game, but it's like one of those games that you kind of have to research ahead of time,
You
and
do. Yeah, it's a big time strategy game.
Yeah.
It's always been a curiosity from afar for me. Like, I'll watch a little bit of the gameplay every once in a while, and it looks interesting, just nothing I'm willing to commit any kind of time to.
It is wicked fun, and it does take time commitment, which is the reason why I don't play League.
I'm sure if you're
But-
good at that game, just like all real-time strategies, playing online, it's got to be a blast, but...
and I think the nice thing about it is you really only control like the one person.
Yeah,
as
that
opposed
one
to,
dude.
like
Yeah.
it's just a lot of micromanagement as opposed to the whole macro stuff, and you don't have to micro like 30 different guys at once. You're just kind of maintaining your one dude and following the different strategies. It's just learning all the strategies is the pain in the ass part for me right now, is because
Right.
then I have to go and look it up or just kind of like, because I don't want to go into that and then like screw my team over. Like I hate being that guy.
Here's-
Oh, and they'll let you know.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. They're not
Exactly.
gonna-
They are not kind-hearted people.
But
That's-
you can always. There are beginner servers that you can
Yeah.
play in for a while.
Yeah.
You don't have to play ranked games or anything like that. And one thing about the game that does piss me off, and League now is much, much different than League before, and it's very akin to like, I don't know, they keep coming out with seasons, they keep like rebalancing characters, they keep, like if one strategy seems to be pulling ahead, they're gonna level the game again.
And and I like
Well,
that.
it's a competitive game. It's a
Like,
MLG.
balance. Like I like the balance aspect of that. Like
Sure,
and it
but
keeps it fresh to some extent.
as good as I was when I used to play, which I wasn't very good, but I was better than I am now, I'm sure. Everything that I used to do back then doesn't even matter anymore.
Right.
Like the learning curve going in is pretty severe once again if you take some downtime. Much like Magic. It's pretty similar.
It's like any strategy game. Really. Because the stuff changes over time.
I guess that's true.
The whole
Strategies
metagame.
always do evolve, yeah. Metagame.
Like chess, man. It's just like chess.
So
Yeah, if you're down, I would be okay with booting some League at some point.
yeah, I'll
No
totally
Dota. You guys are strictly League.
I am strictly League. Dota is fine, but I
I've
don't know.
never
I just the guys that I know that are really good at League and that are really good at original Dota don't play Dota 2.
I just know Dota just because Valve
Of
crams
Steam.
it down my throat every time I open Steam.
This is
so
true.
Right.
That's the only reason I have any. And actually, the streams I watch are Dota, so it's
Oh, okay.
not regularly by any means. It's always like, oh, they're playing Dota. Maybe I'll see what they're doing. No, it's
Well, yeah. I
not
mean, it
happening.
League destroys everything as far as like online community goes. It just it blows everything out of the water. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe one night we'll try to fire that up. I'd be interested in trying it, seeing that it's free and all. There's no real risk.
I mean, and that's right. I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like I know like the free to play characters, from what I can tell, aren't any of the characters that most people play. So,
Weird.
but I know they supposedly have a rotation that goes through of free to play characters like each week or something like that.
Yeah, that's
And
like the new fighting game model where they're giving you like one character every month.
Yeah. Well, I think they give you like 5 or 6 at a time. It's not like.
Okay.
But so it's just I haven't played like a real match yet, and I just have to sit down and do it. I guess at some point. My friend said he would get on and play at the same time, kind of like try to guide me and teach me the ropes a bit too.
Well, you
I think-
learn everything and then let us know,
yeah.
and you can play with a bunch of noobs and just get frustrated because you actually know how to play now.
It wouldn't bother me.
Word.
I don't like to
Excellent.
lose, but I also don't like flip out when people suck because I know how it is
I
to
don't
be
think
there.
I've ever seen you flip out, ever.
Well, if you're not playing ranked, they have no reason to, unless
This
it's
is
just-
true.
Yeah, that's a
Or
good point.
assholes.
Right.
They could just be assholes. Word. You been playing anything else, or is that?
No, that was it. I tried that Dead Island beta thing, which is basically I don't know. It's kind of like a MOBA, but
Yeah, fuck that.
it wasn't
Fuck
very
that game.
good.
Okay.
I played it for like an hour maybe. I played a couple matches, and it was just like, but it was all co-op matches. Excuse me, it was all co-op matches, so it wasn't. I don't know. It was okay.
I just gifted mine away. Fuck that game. Word. All right. Well, I guess last week caved and bought a PS4. I don't know why I bought a PS4.
You know why?
I was kind of excited for Watch Dogs and thought I was going to buy Watch Dogs, and then the closer we got to it, I'm like, I'm not going to buy Watch Dogs. So I ended up picking up Metal Gear, which I really wanted to play, and Infamous Second Son. So Metal
The
Gear,
games I told you to get.
yeah, pretty much, and arguably some of the only games worth getting at this point.
Agreed.
Metal Gear is pretty much exactly what I expected. I think the engine is really cool. I think the game plays really well.
Did you beat it in 18 minutes?
I did not beat it in 18 minutes. I think it was about 2 hours, probably my first playthrough. But I was wandering around a little bit. I was fucking around with mechanics, trying to figure out, spotting as many people as I could. Found a couple secret areas, stuff like that.
Hey, how much was this game? What's the price point on this game now?
$30, $25 to $30. And I agree. I think $30 is a little expensive. I think if I got it for $20, I would feel that it was a tremendous value, but that extra $10 if all you want to do is play through kind of the main story mission as a preface for the full game that's coming out, I guess, next year, don't fucking waste your money. There's, I think another 6 missions or 4 missions. There's, another chunk of this game that is kind of smaller parts. There's even one that's kind of akin. You're kind of searching for remnants of stuff from the original Metal Gear Solid. So it's a lot of fan service. The world is small, but there's enough to it. On multiple playthroughs, you're still kind of finding areas, which kind of keeps it interesting. I enjoy it. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I've played all of the games, including the weird Ninja Gaiden fucking Raiden game that came out. And I love them all. As a Metal Gear Solid fan, I think $30 is fine. Again, it's a little expensive. But I think if you're planning, planning on playing everything that game has to offer, I think $30 is fair. I bet you I won't 100% that game, but if you play through all the modes, you probably have 10 hours, maybe a little bit more of gameplay in there, which is more that can be said about some, $60 games. And I guess the majority of my time, actually, I've been spending on infamous Second Son, which is a good open world game for the PS4.
Yes, very good.
Versus what? What is a bad open world game? Like Watch Dogs? Is that what we're going
I say that, and I haven't played Watch Dogs, so that's extremely unfair. And I played the first Infamous, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite game on the PS3. It didn't really blow me away. I just thought it was kind of a really fun kind of superhero game. I think that this improves on that leaps and bounds. It looks really good, not staggeringly good for being a next-generation game. But all the characters, look great. The world looks really good. I've never been to Chicago or Seattle, so I have no idea how accurate it is. And I think the thing that is most remarkable about that game is how much I'm enjoying the story for how much I fucking hate the characters. Your protagonist is one of the most unlikable hipster douchebags that has ever graced a video game. He is whiny and fuck the man, and you don't understand, man. Call me a conduit. I'm not a preachy, shitty, douchey character. And his brother isn't much better. He's kind of this backwards, racist-ass Native American. And
which I didn't expect.
I fucking hate the two of them, yet I'm fucking loving the game, and it blows my mind. The best character in that entire game is... So you're Native American, I don't even fucking know their names. I don't really give a shit. But there's kind of this grandmotherly kind of elder woman figure in this game. And she'll fucking call you periodically throughout the game, and your guy kind of makes up, what he's doing to make everything seem okay. But she's just the sweetest, most lovable old woman, and I wish I could play with her with superpowers, because she's the only fucking character I like in that entire goddamn game.
Well, that's the whole point of the game.
That aside,
saving her.
The superpowers, the particle effects, you get neon, and you get this cool fucking trail when you run. The world isn't mind-blowing, but all the trimmings and all the polish of that game is the best I've seen on this system.
Yes.
Metal Gear is shiny and looks really realistic and stuff like that, but Second Son plays and feels and looks like just a good fucking superhero game. And I think probably the most impressive thing, I don't know what the frame rate is, but it does not hitch, it does not slow down, not to say maybe it never happens, I have not noticed it once. That game runs as smooth as butter for as much shit as going on. It's just really, really enjoyable. I heard it's kind of on the short side. Ryan would probably know better. I just got the third power.
If you just got the third power, maybe an hour or two left. Maybe.
Yeah, so I'm toward the end of the game. But I'm enjoying kind of the world and kind of most of the side missions are enjoyable. There's nothing special. It's just the same as everything else. Or just, your average, like, save this person or find these things or collect this shit. But I'll probably spend a little bit of time, doing the collectibles and doing the side stuff just because I just enjoy the game.
It's just enjoyable.
If Saints Row 4 did not do superhero powers in an open world, arguably the best I have ever played, this would be up there on my list. This may be, my second or third most fun to play open world. The story's fine, like the characters, I already went through that, but just thing in world, getting around and doing shit, I just enjoy all of it. The way you kind of bounce from buildings, and like I said, kind of when you're running with neon powers. Just
neon is the best power.
Yeah, so it's I'm having a really good time. I'm also playing like a little bit of Resogun and a little bit of I played like maybe 15 minutes of the other PS Plus game, Super Mario Sticker Star in the Psychonauts world.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't even download it.
It's fun. I'm gonna play a little bit more, and I'll probably talk about it next time. But not a ton of PS Plus content, and there's just not a ton of stuff out for the PS4 right now. I will say, as someone who just bought one, you can probably fucking wait. That being said. Second Son and Metal Gear I both had a really good time for, but Second Son is definitely the best thing I've played on it so far. But yeah, that's pretty much all I played this week. A little bit of Mario Golf, a little bit of stuff here and there. But yeah, so I guess we can move on to the news now. I got a couple stories here. Kind of the biggest proper news is Oculus and ZeniMax is actually going to go to court. They were going back and forth, kind of threatening to sue. ZeniMax was threatening to sue Oculus. I don't know if we've talked about this in the past, but John Carmack, who is now kind of the chief technology officer over at Oculus, was supposedly developing technology for ZeniMax kind of back in the Elder Scrolls days. And nothing is super clear right now. Until it goes to court, these documents aren't going to be public. But what kind of became saber-rattling and kind of big business posturing is now going into ZeniMax wants some fucking Facebook money. And, they're probably going to get something out of it, when they kind of steal all your talent and, get a multi-billion-dollar thing from Facebook. I'm not saying...
Yeah, they didn't want anything from it when it was just a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's surprising, and, like I said, until the court trial actually goes through, none of this stuff is really going to become clear what they're claiming, what technologies they're saying were stolen, so on and so forth. But, it's worth mentioning that this is a relatively unusual case in the video game technology world, and there's something to pay attention to. Kind of on a personal interest story, the developers behind Journey, Flower, and Cloud just got $7 million for their new project. That game company has always kind of been Sony exclusive. Like, they weren't
Yeah.
really a Sony studio, but Sony's always kind of had their back. But they just got kind of a new investment round. And they're not huge games. They're not huge budget games. They're a really small studio. I want to say less than 30 people.
So they got 7 million, you said?
Yeah.
To make more really boring games. That sounds awesome.
I really enjoy Journey's probably one of my favorite experiences on the PS3. Flower was just kind of a really fun game, and then Cloud was for the PC, just kind of a tech demo. They do Zen games really well, games that you can kind of just sit down and get lost in. They also did Flow too. I completely forgot about that.
I don't think that they did. See, what I feel like a Zen game is like Ico or Shadow of the Colossus. I feel like
those games are super stressful.
I feel like that's a Zen game. Yeah, but then in between the boss fights, you just have these. I don't know. You're just riding your horse, man. Just riding your horse through the wilderness.
But Flower, man, you're the fucking wind. You're the fucking wind.
The fucking win, man.
Wow,
You
this sounds
like someone that just got off the bus from Bonnaroo. You're the wind, man. It's great.
Some days you have a fucking hard day at work. You want to sit down and be the
You just wanna
goddamn
be the
wind.
fucking wind.
You know who would love this game?
Tooch.
Exactly.
I bet you Tooch would love Journey. Journey was just a really interesting kind of experiment in...
Journey's really the only one that I've played, so it's the only thing that I can really... And I still don't get the point of the game, so I'm not...
Exploration. Yeah, well, the story is, like I said, kind of a personal... I'm excited because I'm going to buy whatever the fuck they make. So good on them for getting some cash and getting started on their new project.
I'm all about indie developers getting money. That's a big thing.
They're borderline indie. They've got pretty good support. They're just
You got money now.
Yeah. They get cash when they need it. Not usually a big supporter of EA, but Battlefield 3 is free right now on Origin until June 3rd. The only reason I'm saying that is because it's a great fucking game for free. And unlike Battlefield 4, it's not super fucking broken. So if you spend $60 on Battlefield 4 and still having a hard time playing, download Battlefield 3 and actually enjoy yourself for a little bit.
Battlefield 4 is still broken?
No. Not in the way it was, but there are still numerous things that should be resolved specifically on the PC. They're just not getting the support it needs. The consoles, their hand is kind of forced because there is no workaround, But, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. They said that they weren't going to release any DLC until everything was perfect, and they fucking backed off on that, so fuck EA. And the last piece of news I have is there's a new Harvest Moon game coming to the 3DS. I love fucking Harvest Moon.
Crack City. Those
What?
games are crack.
Yeah.
I only ever played the one
If you
for
like
Super
crack,
Nintendo.
So-
you might like this.
Harvest Moon is like the original Farmville, right?
And yes, it is quite literally the original Farmville. You are a dude, you get a farm, and then you get animals, and then you have to keep up on this farm, and then you woo people. I'm pretty sure you can only woo women. I'm not
Well,
sure.
in the original ones, maybe not the new ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo and some of these companies are not known for their progressive lifestyle inclusion. As
They don't like to push the envelope.
Yeah, so
Well,
it is what
don't
it
like
is.
The gays.
If you're looking for a farm simulator and you're looking to keep it in your pocket, hopefully this one's going to be good. They had some others for the original DS that I never really played, and I think there was also another one. They come out with one every fucking month. It's not really news.
I'm not trying to be a devil's advocate. I'm really not, and I realize that I'm going to sound like that. But Farmville fits in your pocket, right? That's like a cell phone game. What's going to make this? I just
because you've played other Harvest Moon games and you really like Harvest Moon.
So it's just going towards that demo.
It's Pokemon with farms.
Right.
Like, it is the same. I'm going to pick this up and play it. You know what it is? It is Animal Crossing where you actually fucking do shit.
Yeah, well, that would be
That's what
nice.
hard-
So then I won't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for news. You guys find anything this week?
I have stuff. It's not necessarily directly video game related, but I need to talk about this, and this is my mouthpiece.
Okay.
The new X-Men movie. Jesus.
It's amazing.
There has never been a more perfect Marvel movie than this movie. Hands down.
Has
amazing.
everyone here seen this? Is this
I
something
have.
we're talking
I've
about?
seen it. I've seen
Okay.
Joel, you didn't see it.
No, I did go see it Monday.
Yeah.
You did?
I was bored Monday, so I went and saw
I
it.
also went and saw
Yeah.
one.
I
Joel,
also
you
went and
stayed
saw it
after
Monday.
the credits, right?
I did.
Amazing.
Okay, so we can't talk about this because the movie just came out.
Right. I think
But-
we should be fair, but I mean,
After the credits,
But
suffice
all we're
to say,
trying
I
to
have never
say
been
is
more
if
excited
you
for a
don't
scene
know-
shown after credits in my entire
oh,
life.
absolutely not. And it was perfectly done. Like, I really there is nothing in that movie, not one thing that I had a problem with. Well, there was one thing. Anna Paquin had a higher billing than Ellen Page. And Anna Paquin, I love you, girl, but you had 2 seconds of screen time max. And
Who was Anna Paquin?
Anna Paquin is Rogue.
Oh yeah, she did. She was literally on screen for 4 goddamn seconds.
Yeah, but they cut her part out.
Yeah, but Ellen Page was like integral to the plot.
Yeah, she was
And-
integral to the plot.
She had 2 words, right? She said "Hi, Logan," and that was it.
I don't think she
Yeah,
said anything.
I think
I
she
don't
said
think
hi.
No, she had to have said something. If she got fucking billed, she had to have said words.
That's
Yeah,
because
she's
they
Anna
had
Paquin.
a
She's
bigger
True Blood
scene.
girl. Yeah.
She was in most of the movie. From the future standpoint, they had to cut her out.
I don't know, but I wholeheartedly agree. Let's just suffice to say, if you have not seen the new X-Men movie, and you have even a mild interest in the X-Men movies, or X-Men in general, or fucking superheroes, or just good fucking movies, go see it.
Or if you were a fan of the animated series, this is really like just jerking you off. Like
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never seen a movie that really just whacked me off as much as this movie did, and it did from start to finish.
And it had good fucking technique, too.
It had great technique. The acting, the casting, everything about it was flawless. Did any of you guys see it in 3D?
No, fuck that.
I didn't see it
Yeah.
in 3D either.
I
but-
refuse to pay to see a movie in 3D. ever.
Okay, there is one scene in the Pentagon that I think has sold me
Oh.
on seeing that movie in 3D. Like after watching that
Oh,
in regular
yeah.
definition, I
Yeah.
think I need to see that scene in 3D.
Okay. Well, and enough vagaries. Go see that goddamn movie.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk about, I did see something on Reddit that I thought was extraordinarily interesting, and I just want to. Somebody went to the actual town of Good Springs. In
Good Springs, Ohio.
no, Good Springs, Nevada. But
I'm
anyway,
gonna need
Good
some context.
Springs, California.
okay, so Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
There's a town that you go in,
Oh.
Good Springs, Nevada, and they went to the actual town of Good Springs, Nevada. Almost landmark for landmark. They created this town after the town, which
That's
I
pretty
thought.
fucking awesome.
I thought not only is it awesome, but it's also you know,
It exists.
I don't know if you guys remember in Fallout 3, for those of you that played it, they put their own studios in the game, and I thought to myself,
Oh, yeah.
I thought, hey, that's cool. That's a cool
Yeah.
thing, Bethesda. You put your
I
studio in the
remember.
game. But this is like, I don't know, taking it to the next level for me because it's actually like a legit town, and they put the general store that's right next to the saloon, and that's exactly how it is. They call it the Prospector Saloon, where in real life it's like the Surveyor Saloon or something like that. You know, like they take a little bit of like not getting sued rights out of the thing. But I don't know. I found it very interesting. It was definitely raising on the ups for video game stuff on Reddit.
We're off to check that out.
That's all I got.
Excellent. All right. Anybody else?
Nay.
Well, that's going to do it for yet another episode of the Pixelship Podcast. As always, I've been Ryan Hayes with Joel Hartlaw,
See ya.
Neil Lebo,
Seriously, X-Men, you owe it to yourself.
and Ryan Blandy.
Why are there no dildo bats in Minecraft?
Thanks for listening, I guess.